in 2, and in 3. Permission to record this session.
Greetings 2022 and welcome to your Miting de Avance. I am Charles Bailon from Anglagablab.
And I am Paris Juan from the Science Scholar, and we will be your hosts for today. Before we proceed to the introduction of candidates and plans of action, here are a few reminders.
Please remain respectful throughout the program. Avoid making unnecessary reactions and actions that may distract the candidates and other audience members.
The flow of the meeting of the Avance is as follows: introduction, plans of action, candidate Q&A, and open forum. If you have any questions for the candidates, kindly send them in the chat with the format open bracket party/position closing bracket space there, and then you'll put your question there during the open forum segment.
Without further ado, let us proceed to the introduction of candidates and each party's plans of action. Each party will be given 5 minutes, while each independent candidate will be given 3 minutes to introduce its members and state their general plan of action. Statements over the time limit will be cut off, so please use the time wisely.
Itutuloy, the floor is yours. Your time starts now.
Itutuloy with a semicolon, a symbol used to link two independent clauses closely related in thought. A perfect symbol for our party slogan, to continue, catalyze, and conclude. Good afternoon to all our batchmates and to the rest of the Bisay community. I am Jose Mariano M. Suba, running to once again serve as your 2022 batch president. Our council served during the previous term, organizing various events and activities and tackling the challenges of distance learning and SYP, pursuing to connect, unite, and sustain the batch. This time, we come back with new promises. We aim to continue the progress and work we have done for the batch. We seek to catalyze positive changes and adjustments in areas like social, academic, and personal concerns. And with our final year in Pasay, to conclude and end our meaningful journey, reflecting on the memories and relationships we made. Today, we are here to introduce to you our plan of action in the hopes that you entrust us your valuable votes in the coming election. To start off and to know more about our GPOA, I introduce Neil Paga.
Thank you, Jose. I am Neil Pagya, running for your batch's vice president. For our first general plan of action, we focus on the transparency and accessibility of our records in the batch. As a council, we will keep all information regarding our meetings, activities, and finances open to everyone if one requires it. We would also hear and listen to all of the batch's concerns and to respond to these concerns quickly and effectively. Another plan of actions that we aim to dive into is social awareness. Our council understands the importance of being a scholar of Bayan and being involved in social planning. Especially now that the voters registration has been extended, we'll continue to promote the importance of being a registered voter and exercising our rights. Along with this, we plan to have updates regarding the plans of the council, the school, and our parents with their responses to the pandemic. For our next plan of action, here is our council secretary.
Thank you, Neil. I am Andre Therese G. Halago, running for the position of Batch Secretary. As a Batch Council, we are here to support and provide guidance to the batch in various aspects. Since we're in the second chapter of the SYP, the Council will give assistance to guide and familiarize the batch with the policies that we should follow. The Council will also address academic-related concerns such as the CID policies, SIP, and scale by communicating with the proper offices and coordinators. Additionally, the Council will guide the batch in the college applications process by coordinating with the guidance unit. Lastly, we will continue to establish a support system and tackling issues regarding our personal well-being through our platforms and activities. The Council will serve as a bridge between the school and our batchmates for possible concerns, and we will also promote the activities of Kandili besides Mental Health Committee. To give an idea of our specific plan of action for this year, here is our treasurer.
Thank you, Clar. I am Anne-Marie Carti Moralit, running for the position of Batch Treasurer. For our specific plans, we will hold monthly updates during our batch flag ceremonies, where we can also recognize the achievements of our batchmates. We will also continue to use our batch Discord server and the 2022 FB group as the main platforms to disseminate information to the batch. Moreover, our Ask BC 22 and Safe Space 2022 Google Forms will remain active to receive any concerns and questions of the batch. We will also be here ready to listen and help the batch improve their well-being by communicating with the proper channels. We will also be organizing batch hangout activities throughout the year to promote unity within the batch as we go through our last year in Pasay. Additionally, we will work together with the 2022 PTC to keep our tradition of having a batch shirt for every school year. For our other specific plans, here is our auditor.
Thank you, Anne. I am Ron Angelo A. Hilasio, running for the position of batch auditor. Our council will also continue projects tackling the batch's academic concerns. The Send Help forum will remain open for anyone to ask their questions or to schedule consultations with the continuing academic committee, who will support the batch regarding academic concerns. We will also continue to coordinate with Ma'am May Pasha regarding college applications, and we will maintain the College Apps Discord for important announcements and questions about the application process. We will also establish a graduation committee that will all organize all aspects of the batch's graduation in June of 2022 and coordinate with the parents and the MANCOM to ensure the success of the event. To end, here is our Council President, Jose.
No matter the difficult situation and challenges we are facing, sama-sama nating itutuloy. Our main objective is to have each one of our batchmates graduate on time and be prepared for college and that no one gets left behind. Thank you for giving us your time to allow us to introduce our party and platform. We hope that by listening, we were able to prove ourselves worthy of your vote to represent you, Batch 2022. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, candidates. We will now proceed to the question and answer portion. Each candidate will be called up front and given 45 seconds to answer each question.
Each question will be given to the candidate 1 minute prior to answering. The candidates will answer in ascending order of their position.
We would like to request the audience to remain respectful throughout the portion. Again, if you have any questions for the candidates, please send them to the host.
We now would like to call the auditor of Itutuloy. Will we be given regular updates on our spending alongside meeting minutes? Your time starts now.
Hello. So regarding the question, whenever there's a big amount of our funds that will be spent, for example, in the yearbook committee and the preparations related to it, there are always accompanying financial reports, and we will make and in alignment with our main with one of our main one of our main goals is transparency. We will make it available in the batches master drive, and we will also provide accessible links to the batch directory, which is basically a Google sheet compiling all of the relevant batch files. So yeah, we will make it available for you.
Thank you. Next would be the treasurer of Itutuloy. Are there already any budget plans for the batch's graduation and party, if ever? And is there an allocation prepared for the possibility of a face-to-face graduation? Your time starts now.
Hello. So we actually coordinated with the yearbook committee and the parents already regarding the allocation of the budget for our plans, and this included the yearbook committee, our possible graduation, whether it may be face-to-face or in virtual, and we also have allocated a legacy project for this. So yeah, we have. Okay, wait, did I? Yeah, we also have a Google sheet where all our projected expenses for this school year are listed, and our budget is allocated right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next would be the secretary of Itutuloy. As a secretary, you are the person handling documents and the person responsible for distributing these documents to those who need it. How will you ensure both security and transparency of information within these documents? Your time starts now.
As for the transparency, we have a 2022 master drive that is accessible for everyone. And in addition to that, we prepared a batch directory that you may access at bit.ly/BC Directory 2022. So for easier access, we have categorized the important links into different categories, and the purpose of each of the links are also included in the directory for easier access. And then as for the security, in terms of our Google Forms, such as the Safe Space and Ask BC 2022, all of the forms are confidential and will only be read by the council. And if ever there are specific concerns, we try to address them without revealing the identity of the sender. Thank you.
Thank you. Next would be the Vice President of Itutuloy. Did you experience any struggles juggling your extracurriculars with your studies last online school year? If so, how confident are you that you can handle adding more on your plate with the responsibility of being the batch VP once elected? Your time starts now.
I think that, syempre, dumami na lahat ng organizations natin, dumami na lahat ng parang, we have college applications, we have academics for our last year in Visay. So malamang, mahihirapan tayo mag-cope up. But with the response ng batch natin last year, I'm pretty sure na kakayanin namin to. And response din ng council itself, like, we bonded as a team last year. We had projects, we had different activities, events, and yung response ka ng students and ng parents is super participative. So I'm super thankful for that. So, ayun na. So I think kaya ko naman, yes.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, the president of Itutuloy. Given that there are some plans for face-to-face classes to resume in January, does your party have any prepared plans or a different platform in case the transition pushes through? Your time starts now.
Hello, 2022 plus spotlight. Thank you. In case there's plans for face-to-face classes, I think it's evident that it'll be done limited. So not everyone will be at school at the same time. So I think it is important that we still keep online platforms like Discord and our Google Forms so that proper communication channels that our batchmates would want to deliver us a message or send their concerns, it's still available to them even though they're at school or they're at homes. And additionally, if face-to-face classes will continue, we will have to communicate with the teachers and the staff that is at school because we have to allocate our resources properly, and that we need to have a connection that is at school. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, candidates. We now proceed to the last portion of the Miting de Avance, which is the open forum. We will be asking questions gathered from the chat and those sent to the host. So for our first question, for the president, we would like to congratulate all of you for making it to your last year in Pisay. What impression would you like to leave on batch 2022 as you spend this year as your last? Your time starts now.
I think I would want to leave an emotional end for this school year. I think the 6 years has been very difficult and at the same time fun for each one of us. And I want us to relive those memories, and we want to coordinate with the yearbook committee regarding that. And we want to make the school year, the final school year, even though it's the end, as meaningful as it can be. And ayun, we hope that we can bond together as a batch one last time and look back at our journey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And for the vice president, given that you were elected as the batch council last year, are you confident that you were able to properly do your responsibilities? And do you think you deserve to be re-elected again, considering your track record?
Track record, okay. So what our GPOA last year was the same thing actually. We have the open communications, we have the social awareness programs, and we have communications bridges between the authorities and the students. So I think with our forms, with the Register 2022, with the events we had with the parties, etc., etc. I think that is evident naman doon yung naging uh, evident naman din yung naging parang kung gaano kami ka-passionate, kung gaano kami ka-determined to serve the batch. So, ayun. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a question for the secretary. What can you do for the batch that others can? Your timer starts now.
We actually talked about this at the council, and from last year, I think we were really proud of our response time. When there were concerns or questions, we were able to reply immediately, and I think that's what's important in this online setup to because unlike in the face-to-face setting, we can just go to the office and just ask, and here it cannot be denied that asking questions takes a much longer time. So I think being able to quickly respond to the concerns and the questions of the batch is really important as the batch council.
Okay, thank you. For the treasurer, if there are ever any disagreements between members of the batch council, how do you plan to resolve them? Will they affect the service of the batch council?
Hi. We rarely disagree with each other. Maybe because we are close. The five of us are actually close with each other, and we are almost classmates in all our classes. And if ever there will be disagreements among us, we will communicate with each other because we know that there is nothing that communication cannot solve. And okay, and okay, basically yun na yun. Magko-communicate lang naman talaga kami, and magigets naman namin yun, yung isa't isa kapag ma-explain namin yung side ng isa't isa. We just need to hear out the opinions of each other and to see kung ano yung compromise na mahahanap namin to really to understand and to have that common ground for each other.
Thank you for answering. This is a question for the Vice President. Do you think our batch is ready for face-to-face mode of learning? Your timer starts now.
Why not, diba? So, we're still waiting for the government's response. We're still waiting for the MANCOM to respond to by the way, nag-post kami na announcement regarding sa vaccination. So, pakisagot na lang po yun ng parents niya. So, thank you. Other than that, I think kaya naman natin kung we're still going to follow the protocols. I know naman as precise scholars, we know kung gaano kasakit or paano ba yun? Gaano ka-dangerous yung COVID-19. So, I think we're still going to follow protocols. Yun lang. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for the president, in your GPOA, you mentioned that the council aims to be involved in environmental issues and dilemmas by holding activities and events for the batch to be more aware. Can you give any examples of what these activities and events might be?
I think with Registro 2022, our batch council has shown that we were able to connect to social action clubs regarding social issues, and environment is one of those. I think our batch council would love to coordinate with environmental organizations, especially youth organizations. Our batchmates are members of numerous organizations like Wavebearers and others. I think it will be useful and it will be beneficial to our batch if we will able to connect to them and give them a platform to our batchmates, because to give them awareness of what's happening. Also, our batchmates currently are in Bio 4 Bio 4, and environment is one of the topics that is being discussed there. And I think it's very useful if they can apply what they've learned in Bio and apply it to the activities of the batch council. Thank you.
Thank you for answering. For the secretary, what inspired you to run for batch council? Your timer starts now.
So if elected, this will be my third year in the council, and I think what really inspired me is being able to serve the batch and that sense of fulfillment that you're able to contribute something to make things even a little bit easier for the batch. So I guess that's what motivates me. And working with other people who has the same passion on serving as me is really important as well.
Okay, thank you. For the Vice President, should you not be elected to the Batch Council this year, how will you be passing on your projects to the succeeding Batch Council, considering the continual nature of your projects?
So I think that, yun nga, sabi nga ni Ann kanina, there is nothing that communications cannot solve. So communication lang talaga with the succeeding batch council yung need para ma-continue yung mga projects namin. I mean, we have the partnerships with Access, so thank you Access for it. Pero Access can still guide them for their voters registration in the elections 2022 process program or activity. So I think kaya naman i-continue yung the said projects ng succeeding batch councils if we're not to be re-elected for the next year. So thank you.
Thank you. This is a question for the auditor. What are the challenges you faced last school year and how will you use these experiences in your time as an auditor? Your timer starts now.
Regarding my experiences as an auditor and yeah, with regards to money, since wala naman kami halos masyadong hinandun na pera, it's really not a problem auditing that. Pero one of our yeah, one of the things we continue to do last year is yung mga pa-surveys namin, and actually yung pa-surveys until now, and mahirap mag-reach ng people and makakuha ng responses, especially sa college stuff, yung college code names namin. So with that, I guess one of the best ways to address that is to continually paying the batchmates and remind them to answer those forms. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. For the President, given our current situation, how will you make sure that the batch is heard and communication is maintained, especially for the students who opted for online distance learning and don't have stable internet or the technology? Thank you.
I think so for last year, we made so many communication channels that addresses so many needs. So for example, if academic concerns, you can ask BC22 for Scale SIP. If you need help for school, you send help 2022. For offline learners, I think it's important that we coordinate through the ASAs and our batch advisors, especially with CID, because they have the connection with those learners that are having difficulties with online learning. And through them, we will be able to address what their needs are. For example, last year, our batch advisor raised the concern about how does the reviewers reach the offline learners. So I think that's important to be able to hear the teachers, because they're the connection that we have to the offline learners.
Thank you. This is again a question for the President. What image do you want to give off or portray as a council in your social media platforms? Your timer starts now.
I think the image that I want to portray for the batch council, right now there's no image, but when we are elected, we want to be viewed as helpful. Basically, our main objective this year is to help each one of our batchmates to finish the school year on time and be ready off after. Yun lang yung gusto namin, yun lang yung hangad namin. And hopefully by the end of this school year, we were able to leave the impression with our batchmates that, wow, they helped us, ganon. And we were able to utilize every resources that we can to help each one of you guys. So yun, helpful. Yeah.
Okay. For the secretary, What will you be doing to ensure that the students will stay interested and attend the events that you will be hosting?
So that is actually a problem last year as well. But I think proper promotion is really important, and being able to formulate events that will actually interest the batchmates is also an essential element to consider. And they actually have something planned, but secreto muna siya, so di ko muna sasabihin. Pero I think yun, basically it's important to ideate projects that will pique the interest of our batchmates, and being able to constantly remind them that, oh, we have this thing on ganitong date. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. For the auditor, what is the biggest challenge you can see yourself facing in this position, and what will you do to address it? Your timer starts now.
For this position, yun nga, as we, yeah, one of the biggest problems regarding financial matters is yung communication with the yearbook committee regarding the expenses, since yun nga, since there are a lot of preparations that need to be made. So to overcome this, ayun nga, communication, more communication, and if we'll ask for updates if needed, yeah, regarding the expenses of the Yuba committee, as well as financial updates from the parents, since they are the ones who handle the bulk of the batch funds. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, for the treasurer, how will you deal with limited or insufficient time and resources when executing the student council's projects?
Um, so, ayun, I think we will schedule our events properly and take note din sa lahat ng mga requirements, since nakalista naman sa atin yung Rex master list natin, and we take note din kung saan magfo-fall yung mga chunk ng Rex natin. So I think we just need to schedule the events properly para din maraming maka-attend, and para ma-prepare and ma-plan ng maayos ng both council, ng batch councils and student councils. And we need to maximize the available time, since yun nga, kalaban din talaga natin yung oras sa pagpe-prepare ng mga activities nito. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. A question for the Vice President of Itutuloy. What social issue are you passionate about, and how will you tackle it if you ever get elected? Your timer starts now.
I think na yung I mean, wait lang. Okay, wala. So the activity or the advocacy that I'm passionate about is voters registration and the right of suffrage. Kasi we're 2022, and ano pa ba yung 2022 elections. So before tayo graduate, magboboto tayo. I think 200 plus of us will be able to vote, will be eligible to vote na. So, kapag na-elect kami, I think we're still going to extend the voters, we're going to still promote voters registration, and hindi lang doon natatapos. We're still going to, with the plans with access and social science unit, we're still going to handle some, tawag dito, webinars or like discussions within class about the elections.
Thank you very much. Okay. For the treasurer again, what problems are you expecting to face this school year, and how would you solve these problems?
Okay, I think medyo nasagot na rin naman yan ng mga other council mates ko. It's probably yung communication rin with other parties. So, pwedeng through yearbook committee or the parents. Pero, pwede naman rin kasi talaga nating ma-reach both parties, since yung isa rin sa council members namin, si Neil, is logistics head ng yearbook committee. So, meron kaming way to communicate properly with the yearbook committee. Tapos, for the parents naman, we we closely coordinate with them rin naman. Through Neil din actually. Through Neil din actually na lagi kaming nakikipag-usap and meeting with the parents para sa mga plans and activities namin. So ayun, communication lang din ulit.
Thank you for the president. If elected, what do you as a leader bring to this position that will help promote growth and community during the pandemic? Your timer starts now.
I think what I contribute as running for president is generally the love and care for the batch. 6 years, I've learned how much this batch is very important to me. And I think the general welfare of the batch and your concerns, your opinions is always what we value. I'm running as president. We're running as a council, not because of the position or because of the power that it gives, if it gives anything, but we just want to serve you guys. And again, we just want everyone to finish this school year as much as easy as they can. And we are here to support you guys. We are the first line of support. We are the first people that you can run to when you need someone to say, to give your concerns to. And yun yung aming dala. Yun yung dala ko. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Sorry, but for you again, do you think that your party mates are the most well suited for their respective positions?
Definitely. If people know, last year I struggled a lot in balancing my academics and extracurriculars. And for me, the only thing that kept me going with the council was the four of them. And I'm thankful that because of them, we were still able to do our projects. We were still able to execute our plans perfectly. This pandemic was a challenge. The setup of distance learning, online learning was a challenge. And because of the four of them, because of their determination, effort, and their ability to communicate well with each other and me, we were able to do so many things in the span of 5 months. So yeah, definitely.
Thank you for the secretary. Concerning the mental health surveys, how will you determine if the batchmate's condition needs intervention? And how will you work with the GCU concerning this matter? Your timer starts now.
This was actually one of our biggest problems last year because we couldn't really check up on our batchmates properly because not all of them are willing to open up. So that's why we opened our safe space forum for them to just voice out their concerns and their problems. And if we think that we are able to help them in any way we can, then we'll definitely try our best. And last year, we tried to communicate with the parents and our advisors and other subject teachers whenever we saw that that someone is struggling kasi anonymous, so di namin kilala. So ayun, we just try to really try our best kasi we all know our limitations then as student leaders. So ayun, we definitely try our best and to contact people who we know can make a bigger difference than us. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer. Now, thank you for your support and cooperations. Elections will be held next week, so don't forget to vote wisely.
Thank you once again, and this concludes this school year's Meeting de Avance. Thank you.
Thank you also sa ating mga candidates. Good luck. And thank you, Saisco and Lagablab, for hosting. Best of luck to all. And thank you, Batch 2022. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Salamat.